many churches wouldn't even let him in, right?
No,
To preach.
no, they didn't. It was a lady pastor
Okay.
and a black preacher from Texas.
In other words, there's more people willing to sacrifice now for the truth.
Yeah, the lines are being drawn, and that's kind of the Antichrist getting ready to rise.
Is there definitely a Antichrist, or is it going to be a system? Everybody, welcome to David Heavener TV, and I'm so honored to have my good friend, Mr. Paul Begley here. Paul, how are you, buddy?
Great to be here, David.
Man, Paul, I want to ask you about circuit riders.
Circuit riders.
Circuit riders. Now, let me tell you, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because I watched a movie about a circuit rider. I saw his life, and I want you to tell him what a circuit rider is, but when I saw what a circuit rider really did and what their heart was all about, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you came from a long line
Yes.
of circuit riders.
Well, my great-grandfather,
Yeah.
he rode horseback throughout eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, West Virginia.
Wow.
And he preached, and what happened to him now, he went to Azusa Street. When the
Okay.
Azusa Street revival broke out in L.A.
And for you guys that don't know, there was a phenomenon that happened. It was from God back in, the turn of the century.
Turn of the century.
It started on somebody's front porch in downtown L.A., Azusa Street, and just people started coming.
From all over the world. It was
All over the world.
It was a lady pastor
Okay.
and a black preacher from Texas. Neither one who were allowed in the pulpits in California, at that time, or anywhere really in America.
Right. Just like us. They don't
Just like
allow
me and
us
you.
in-
I can't get.
Right.
I was just telling someone the other day that they said, "How many churches invite you?" I said, "In 10 years, and I've got over 200 million views on YouTube. I've only been invited to 5 churches. I do a lot of conferences. 5 churches in the last 10 years.
That's shocking.
But the people are watching.
Right.
But the churches aren't inviting.
That's another show. I want to get
Okay,
into
okay.
that, but let's stay on with
Okay.
with the circuit rider. So
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah, and so he was a preacher. He'd been preaching a little while, but he heard about the great revival in Azusa Street.
Okay.
Took a train to California.
Okay.
Stayed 3 months. Came back with the power of God, stronger than what he had.
Wow.
But so the churches that he was preaching in, they were a little leery because he's come back
Right.
here and he seems to be more anointed and animated or whatever.
Okay.
They were a little leery of him. So he just started preaching on people's porches, schools, front porches in hollers, and hundreds would come and be saved and be healed and miracles. And he did this till he was 92 years old.
With no education.
No education.
Didn't go to seminary.
No. He could barely. He had maybe a 4th grade education.
Wow. And I think what you're saying is many churches wouldn't even let him in, right?
No,
To preach.
no, they didn't. Especially after Azusa Street revival, he never really.
Why? Okay, so Paul, why? Because you're pretty well known. I mean, you have a lot of followers and stuff. You would think the churches would want you to come and speak, not because people follow you, but because they watch you. You have a great message from God. Why aren't more churches really open to have you in?
I think that when you start talking about prophecy, that immediately, and also evangelism is something that's kind of being removed from the church, mainstream church.
Right. Yeah.
I just got a contact from a church, about 1,000 people, pastors wanting me to come hold a revival next year. So that'll be my 6th church, okay?
In how many years?
In 11 years. But I think that the people are a little bit afraid of the end times. They're afraid of the last days, and it might be too negative, and let's do something else.
Right. They need that feel-good message, or at least
and,
neutral.
And what they don't know is, if you preach the truth to people, they will feel good. Because they'll get the truth, they'll repent, you know what I'm saying? And then this will lift the church up.
Exactly. And besides, Paul, what business is it of us or any church to say, hey, we want a certain message preached? It's the Holy Spirit. It's God.
Thank you.
That says this needs to be taken forth, right?
Right.
So, okay, so you come from a long line of circuit riders.
Yep.
You're following in their footsteps, but you're doing it through social media, through the internet.
Right.
It's the new front porch.
I'm the new. Yeah. I'm driving an SUV instead of riding a horse.
Right.
I'm not on the front porch, but I'm online. I'm in their home every day on YouTube or all the social media. Right.
Exactly. Okay. And so here's my last question. You're a student of the end times prophecy. The one thing, if you could say to people out there, the one thing that's happening today that would be a for sure stamp of yes, end times is happening right now, what would that be?
Wow. Because there's so, and the reason I'm struggling with this answer is there's so many.
Okay, then
I'll give you one. One is the fallen away.
Okay.
Not from church attendance.
Okay.
Fallen away from the faith. Okay, people are being drawn in a lot of different directions, and this is part of the apostasy of the last days.
Okay.
And another thing would be certainly what we're witnessing in America and in the world is this great division. There seems to be light and darkness seems to really be starting to separate. Okay, we're seeing it politically, economically, spiritually,
right,
socially.
Yeah.
The lines are being drawn, and that's kind of the Antichrist getting ready to rise. So, I mean, because you can see this absolute separation taking place.
Right. In other words, the goats from the sheep.
Yep.
The truth from the deception.
Yep.
Okay. And Jesus talked about this in Matthew 24.
Yes, he did.
He said there's a clear divide. So what you're saying, two things. One is the falling away. Apostate. Number two is the division. And people are willing now, the way I see it, is they're willing today to die for the truth if, in other words, there's more people willing to sacrifice now for the truth.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's why conferences like what we're in right here and what you do, what I do, and others, that's why people are getting outside of the norm to find it. Hunt it down on, let's say, your channel or my channel or some other network or whatever, where they can find the gospel unedited. They want the truth. It's sort of like if you had cancer and you went to see a doctor and you're saying, what do I have wrong? He says, you know what, I think you're going to be okay. No, I don't want you to tell me, I think I'm going to be okay. I want you to tell me exactly, diagnose what's wrong with me. Tell me what I got to do to fix this. And I think that's what people are searching for. They're tired of the fluffy, puffy kind of thing a little bit. They're saying, hey, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. I need to know what I need to do.
Absolutely. You know, in the last Evangelist, which you got me into this, right?
I know, I love that.
A couple years ago. And we deal with cash society, mark of the beast. The one thing we do deal with is the Antichrist.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, is there definitely a Antichrist, or is it going to be a system?
It's both.
It's both.
It's
okay.
both. There's going to be a system, and that system is already, in my opinion, moving pretty rapidly.
Okay. When we come back,
because now I've read your script. You know, you and we read the whole script.
I know, you did.
All I can say, because I can't say what's in the script. People have asked me 100 times. And I said I won't tell you, but I said it is a great script.
Thank you.
And I look forward to being a part of it.
Thank you.
It's a great script.
When we come back, I want to ask Paul what the Antichrist system is going to look like, what it's looking like now. Is it on us now? Is it unfolding? What are the things to look for?
Okay.
When we come back. All right. Hey everybody, I'm David Heavener. Welcome to the Last Evangelist crowdfunding campaign. I'm so happy to have you take this journey with me. I'm going to play a character named John Rhodes. And I'm an FBI agent. My job is to bust underground churches. That's right, the churches have now married the government. You have the one world government married to the one world religious system, and so you either have the government church or the underground church. My job is to bust the underground church. I go in, I seek them out, I arrest them, and I find out where the next one is, until one night I meet God. So with a Bible in one hand and a gun in the other, I set out to find the Antichrist, to deal with cashless society, mark of the beast, and what's happening according to Matthew 24 in the book of Revelation, the end times. Also, too, I really want this TV series to spawn heroes. I want to play a hero to the kids. You know, kids really need good role models these days, and I feel like with The Last Evangelist, we could fulfill that need. Now, people ask me, okay, David, fine, you're going to shoot it. Where's it going to come out? Well, guess what? We have worldwide distribution through ROKU, Amazon, and other platforms. We have David Heavener TV, davidheavener.tv, where you'll be able to watch it exclusively, and who knows, you may be able to watch it other places too once it kicks off and becomes very successful. So I want to thank you for being involved. I appreciate this time that you spent with me. I want you to hit that button. Thank you, and God bless you.